Okay, guys, we are back now with the second part of this Facebook ads training. And this is another big section because we're talking now about text, headlines, ad copy, which is the message we are giving people so that they will want to find out more about us and hopefully sign up for our free songs and hopefully become our super fans. So images and text, this is what we're going to be playing with so much, and it's really everything. Image and text. Even if you had like mediocre music and it wasn't that great, if you have a really good image and you have really compelling text, you'll do very well. So I mean, and of course you need all the pieces of the puzzle. Your music does need to be top notch and it needs to be good quality material, but this really helps a lot. This will help you stand out. So, what you're seeing here is just the image that's being pulled through from this URL that I typed in. So that's that. And I could keep it, but what I also might want to do is add an image that has a little bit of text on it, just because their eyes are naturally going to go to this image. So I've created this image already, but I thought I'd just quickly show you how I do this up. And there's a few rules you need to pay attention to. With Facebook ads, you may not have text that is more than 20% of the total picture volume, or however you want to measure that. 20% of the picture has to be less than that. So there's some different tools you can use, but sometimes I will just try it out. So I'm in canva.com, canva.com. It's a free kind of graphics editor. And what you could do is just choose the Facebook ads template. And then it'll give you this size already. So what I did was I just pulled up my Facebook picture, or sorry, my actual picture. What I'll do is just create a new one down here. I'm just gonna get rid of all this stuff just so I can show you from scratch what I did. And so what I did was I just dragged it so it was big enough. And I decided I want to flip this around the other way. So I just, the picture selected and I'm clicking down here and I just went flip horizontally. So now I'm on this side. Cool. And then this was actually just a shape. If you go search and you go to shapes and you can scroll down, I got squares and everything is like clickable and draggable. If I wanted like, a circle or something, you can literally just drag it. It's like drag and drop type of a program. So that's why I love it. It's so simple. And I kind of like this color. I might go a little bit more like this, and then I could do brighter or darker or something like that. But then what I can do is hit transparency and just make it so you can still kind of see through it a bit, but it makes it a little more darker for text. And then I might just make it smaller. And then, so if you scroll down, I just wanted to show you where I found that one shape. I think it's this one here. So, and then what I did was I just changed the color. So again, I just click on here, make it whatever color I want, and then click down here and just make it a little more transparent. You could make it a block too. That might really stand out. You got to think, what is going to stand out in the news feed? A lot of beautiful colors will stand out. You want a high resolution photo, no lame iPhone photos that are grainy and stuff. So, something that will really stand out. So if it's not standing out enough, I might need to make it more bold with like, this might not be the shape I want. Maybe I want to try something more like this and maybe change it to black. But like, different shapes kind of give a different feeling. You need to really pay attention to the feeling that you're giving people. And then I'm going to go to text and I will add a heading. And I'm just going to quickly change the color so I can see it. And I'm going to go to, try a couple different fonts. And then here's a good chance to really kind of play around with what you want to say. What do you want to say? And you need to, again, be putting yourself in the shoes of your ideal superfan. And by now you should really know who they are. We're not guessing at this point. We really have a good understanding of who they are, where they live, what they eat and breathe, all the music that's their favorite to listen to. And so we're not really guessing. We know what appeals to them. So what's been working really great for me is kind of the headline, where I'm like appealing to all the different things they like. So I'm like, so I might just do something like this. Free Celtic metal downloads, pretty basic. But they see the word free, they don't have to pay anything for it, and they know it's a download. So after I've done this, I'm like saving it, and then you just go into Power Editor and you would go select image, and then you would literally go upload image, and you can just drag that download right here and it'll upload it for you. So for the sake of this, I'm just not doing all of that to save time, but that's how you would do it. I recommend doing it in Canva. You can also do PicMonkey. You can do stuff like that. So it's pickmonkey.com. And you can do lots of editing in there. This one has some free features, and then there's also some upgraded features. I think it's $3 a month or something like that. But you can really get it done in Canva, and Canva's totally free. So now back in Power Editor, let's talk about text. Let's talk about what we want it to say and how you get ideas for headlines. The headline goes down here underneath the picture. It's the bold part. Depending on your ad, depending on your photo, and depending on who you're targeting, you're going to have to kind of figure out where people's eyes are going to drift to first. Either way, you need compelling copy everywhere. So what I do to find some good headline ideas, I mean, you could be as simple as free Celtic metal download. It could say the same text that's in my photo, or I might want to be a little bit more, I could add some things too. And so one way I get some good ideas for keywords are going to like be familiar with your target audience, is I pull up Amazon, and I pulled up my music. Here's my album on Amazon, has a pretty good rating. And so I'm in the digital music. I just looked up myself, and if I'm marketing to my own audience, the great thing you can do is go down here to the customer reviews. This is where people are totally uncensored. It's like YouTube. Sometimes you get some nasty ones, and sometimes you get some amazing reviews, but it's a place where you can come and really find some amazing headlines, because people are pretty much putting headlines out here, outstanding symphonic metal. And what I do is browse through some of these, and I pick out some keywords that I'm finding a lot. So when I'm reading my own music, and if yours isn't on here yet, you were going to look up similar artists. So, and I might, I noticed there was a few keywords that came up a lot. One of them was soothing. So this music is soothing, and my voice apparently makes you want to cry, hopefully in a good way. And yeah, it just soothes you. So that's not a word I would have come up with. I never would have thought of the word soothing. What? I would never have thought of that. And then I actually saw it again somewhere later in here. And you just kind of skim for some keywords. So medieval is a word, relaxing, energetic, all at the same time, apparently. Sprinkling of Celtic and Middle Eastern sounds. Now, isn't that interesting? That's exactly my micro niche, and they've picked that out. So it's an awesome mix of styles combined again with soothing vocals. Isn't that interesting? Because I never would have chosen that word, but because I'm seeing it over and over again, guess what I'm going to put in my headline? I'm going to put it in my right here. Soothing vocals meets metal. Now, I might not keep this, but I'm just brainstorming. Usually, I sit here and I write for a good 30 minutes until I think, oh, I think I've got it. And I'll try. I don't usually just type it in and then upload it. No way. I take my time to really come up with something good. And I also suggest that you would, use your Evernote. I might create a new note just to come up with add you know, text ideas. And so I might go like, you know, headlines and, you know, come up with, okay, soothing vocals meets metal, or I might go, or soothing. And I might just do like 15 different versions of the same sentence, you know, and then really look at which one is the punchiest, that says the most in the fewest amount of words, and also makes sense. Which one is going to connect with my audience the most? And I'm going to do that until I can't think of any more. Okay. And that's using this one word with the metal. And then we also saw stuff about medieval. So I might think, soothing vocals, medieval and Celtic, influences, and metal. So these are just keywords right now, but now I'm going to take those keywords and try to make them into a sentence. And if it ends up being longer, I will use it for text instead of a headline. So the headline needs to be shorter. The text could be a paragraph. I've seen people do well, but I think just a sentence or two, you need to nail it in a shorter amount of text. So I'm going to rack my brain, and this is the life of a musician now, okay? This is the life of being a writer and somebody who's creative. That's what I actually love about marketing, is that it completely uses your creative juices, and that's what you were born to do. So, and it's fun kind of trying to think of how can I, brainstorm and come up with the very best ideas that's going to describe my music and connect with my audience. So for me, this is a fun exercise. It's challenging, and I know a lot of musicians, we enjoy a challenge. So try to look at this as not a pain, as a pain in the butt, but as something that's a fun activity that's going to get you some really awesome results. So if I've kind of run out of ideas, I'm going to come back here to Amazon. I'm going to look for some more keywords. So, goth bands. I'm not actually a goth band, but, some people who like that might like my stuff. Let's see. Symphonic metal. And I'm just kind of skimming because I'm being quick here. Again, female symphonic metal. And so amazing talent. So rock and roll vocals. Okay. Now, if I run out of some ideas, I'm going to look up, or if you are not on here yet, if you don't have reviews, go look up a similar band, maybe in your umbrella genre, or, if you can find something maybe just in the secondary genre, not so big that it's not going to really apply to you. So here's like another band. They're so much bigger than I am. Like I'm like unknown compared to this band. And I'm going to look at, the best of both worlds. I have actually used that exact headline in my ads before, never having seen this before. So that's telling me I am on track. I have actually said in my ads, and I might actually say this up here in the text, I might go, Celtic metal, the best of both worlds. Whoa. And I might go Celtic plus metal. And you might have seen on my freemium page, I actually say that. The best of all worlds, Celtic fantasy and metal, the best of all worlds. Isn't that funny? So that just tells me I'm right on target with my audience. I'm in their heads. This is somebody who's buying the music, they're reviewing the music, they are a dedicated fan, and they've used that phrase. So this is kind of a genius tip for you, not because I came up with it, but just because it is really a brilliant way to find amazing headlines. Masterful. And you want to obviously get keywords from the good reviews. You don't use like the 2 and 3 star reviews. Sometimes the 3-star reviews are still actually really good. An opinion from a former hater. So this album changed it all for them apparently. And so I'm this is kind of long and stuff, but I'm going to keep looking for, catchy hooks. I'm looking for some key words. So look at their headlines and then skim the actual reviews. Let's see here. Masterpiece. Again, I'm seeing that. Masterpiece. So people who like this band and are giving them 5-star reviews are using the word masterpiece. So I'm going to write that down. Now, I feel like masterpiece is too big of a word to use for my stuff compared to this band. I mean, this band is seriously epic. That's why they're called Epica. But this is the keyword that those people are using. So I need to get over how I feel about my music. Maybe I just feel like I'm not as good as them, or I haven't, they have a multi-million-dollar production, and, my music is very humble compared to that. I have to get over it and just start speaking their language, speaking the fans' language. So that's what we have to do. So I'm going to write down that keyword. I'm going to open my Evernote and I'm going to start writing, and this might be easier to start with, is just writing a keywords list. So I'm going to use soothing, metal, medieval. And these are things I picked out of these reviews. Masterpiece. Did I write that right? I before C. C. Celtic. Influences. Let's see what else we can find. I really want to show you. Okay, here's another band that is kind of up my alley. Now I want to look at the good reviews. Okay. Enchanting. I like that word. Enchanting. I'm going to write that down. Let's see. Keep looking, okay? We're looking for some really good words. And I'm going to click on the 5-star reviews because I only want the people who are really like diehard fans. Look at this. Who writes a huge review like this? It's a super fan. It's definitely a super fan. A mediocre or irrelevant fan does not go to these lengths. So, and this, by the way, is definitely a micro niche, this genre here. So beautiful, classic. And I'm going to, normally I would take the time and I'd probably read this whole thing and find the perfect words out of this. This person is very wordy. They look like they're a real writer. And yeah, I would definitely find some good words. There's the word masterpiece again. Culture and passion. I like that. I'm going to just write that down. That's different. I might use the word passion. Passion would be a lot more easy to be passion, passionate. Find different versions of the same word that you could use and incorporate into your text. So, because I think the hardest part about writing ads is finding the words. What kind of words are going to actually get their attention? It's going to have to, this is how you're going to find it. You're going to speak the language of your fans. You're literally going to take the words that they are using to describe this and use it, and then it's going to click and they're going to get it. Oh, emotional. Cool. There's lots of good ideas. So this is really going to be completely different for your genre, okay? But what I'm saying applies to anything. If you're in country music, you're in gospel or whatever, this is the exact same thing. You're going to look up bigger artists than you, and you're going to go and make sure that, if they had like one album that was a flop, don't go there. Just go to the album that they did really fantastic and they have lots of amazing reviews on Amazon, and that's where you're going to get your keywords and your headlines. The next big thing. That's good. And I want to go to the top ones. Instead, I'm going to go, most helpful. Addicted. this is obviously it's a catch on their a catchphrase based off of their actual album, but addicted might be like, you could use that word, like you'll get addicted to this or something like that. So just write down anything that catches your attention that you're like, oh, that word stands out to me. It's kind of a fun exercise to do this. Balanced. Okay, so it's a perfectly balanced trinity of metal, pop, and Elise's vocals. So I like that. And so notice how on my ad I had Celtic, fantasy, and metal. I like how this person's calling it a balanced trinity of these three things. So that's why I have three things, and I'm saying it's the best of all worlds. And I like how they're using this. So I might write that down just because I might want to try wording it differently sometime. It's kind of more of a poetic way of saying it. Now, I might not say, oh, this is a balanced trinity, but I might try moving these words around and trying it in a different order or something. So this band is definitely in a micro niche. Not only are they in metal and they're in kind of like a symphonic metal, but it's actually called pop metal. And it's not just pop metal, it's Swedish pop metal. Okay, so it's even like narrowed right down to their country. So here's a great example of how you can just come on Amazon. This person just narrowed down their micro niche for you or for them. If you didn't know what you were, but you know another band that's similar to you that's bigger, you might just find a headline where they've already done the work and the research for you and they've already called it something. So that's fantastic. And really pay attention to what people are saying. Also, it's just good for research, but read some of the not so good reviews as well and find out what people aren't liking about the genre. Maybe it's just, is it a matter of quality? Is it a matter of focusing too much on a certain kind of songwriting but not others? You can get a lot of valuable insight as a musician based off of Amazon reviews. And we have to develop a bit of a thick skin, which is really hard because like we're artists, right? It's not easy. We're very sensitive. We're very feeling individuals. Even though a lot of us do use our left brain a lot, like I do, it's still our art and it's still a sensitive, feeling. I sometimes don't even go and read my reviews on Amazon at all just because I don't want to read the negative thing. And I don't want to be, my sense of success does not come from my reviews or the likes or my shares or anything. My sense of success comes from me alone. And that's really, if I am happy with what I've done, that's where my success comes from. So I actually try not to read all my reviews except for when I have decidedly put myself in the mental mode where it's like, now I'm going to go and read some reviews for this purpose. I'm going to do, and you need to decide it's going to be research. I'm now going to read my reviews. I'm going to read my comments. I'm going to read the good, bad, and the ugly. And I'm just considering it research. And you have to decide ahead of time going into this, I will not take it personal, and just kind of make up your mind before you read it that you won't take it personal. It might be a bit hard, but over time you will get a bit used to it. And just know your music is not for everybody, and good. So what? We don't want everybody. We only want the kind of people that will already like our music and that are into what we're into. So like attracts like. So just remember that. And this is an invaluable tool, and it's totally 100% free. So definitely be using that when you're thinking of your text. So I'm coming back here to Power Editor, and now I've got some keywords that I can kind of pull from to write the rest of my text. So I might say Celtic and metal, best of both worlds. Remember they had written that, free download, and for a limited time, because I might not run this forever. I might only run this for a month. I'm not going to say that it's just for a month because I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to evaluate it. So it is for a limited time. I just don't know exactly how long it is. And I might take it down and do a different one. So this particular ad going to this particular page is for a limited time. So just be honest about that. And now soothing vocals. You know what I might say? Soothing vocals meets metal. And I might want to be more specific. Soothing vocals, because I have like a little bit of a Celtic and medieval influence. I might say something about soothing vocals, medieval and Celtic nuances, instant download. And that might be too much. And I'm just going to look at this and be like, wow, I think the all caps is a bit much. Sometimes it works okay, but generally it's better to just type it. But you know, people need to know it's a free download. Soothing vocals, medieval and Celtic nuances. Download now. You always need a call to action. You need to tell people what you want them to do. So free download for a limited time. So what I might actually say is click to get this free download. And I might do this. I actually like this little fancy thing. Let's see how that looks. And you just kind of click out of here and it'll kind of refresh. Now, what I don't like is that this little part is kind of, you know, broken up. So this actually might look better if I put it in the headline. And let's see what it looks like if I actually put it at the beginning. So I'll click down here. That to me stands out better. So I like that this is one line. Celtic plus metal, the best of both worlds. Click to get this free download. And then normally I'd have text in this picture too that says free metal download. So they're seeing the word free and download a few times. And then limited time. Soothing vocals, medieval and Celtic nuances, download now. And I might change that word nuances to something else, but you need to play with this. Now this newsfeed link description is going to show up down here. So I need to type something more. And I might say, sometimes people might not read this, but I'm putting it anyways because we need to have something there. Just play with this. Now, if your cost per conversion, which I'll show you how to look at soon, if it's really high, the first thing I want you to change is your text. I want you to start from scratch and start over again. And the second thing to change, if it's not converting well, is your image. Most likely you need a better photo. Yeah, that might involve you going and get some new ones if you don't have some really good new ones. Just hire a professional photographer. I know you know a photographer. Everybody knows like 10 photographers. And these days people have good cameras who are not photographers. Just get them to take some good high resolution photos. Hire somebody on Fiverr.com. Okay, you go to Fiverr.com, okay, and just go and you look up like photo editing, like Photoshop editing, and find somebody who will do something really amazing with your photo. I will do cool photo editing. So, you know, when everybody has a different price, this person, you might be able to get it done for $5. It just depends on what all. So if you wanted a fast day, like a 1-day delivery to the same day, it's just an extra $5. So anyways, that's where you can come and get something really awesome, because the photo is everything. Facebook is a visual platform, and you need to make sure that you are visually engaging your audience. Your photo needs to have color. It needs to just look like not average, okay? This is not a photo taken with an old digital camera. You need something high quality. So just get it done and make sure it's in like a nice big resolution, so that when you go into Canva and you're designing this, that when you stretch this photo, so like this one is actually not the highest resolution, so it starts getting grainy and kind of like, you know, fuzzy and stuff. So you don't want that. You want to make sure it's really high resolution. So again, when it's not converting super well, or you want to get your costs down, I want you to come back and start tweaking all your text and your image, because you're most likely by now you probably have done a good job on your audience, but you might need to tweak a few things there too. And you can always do a second ad and target a completely different audience, different countries, and then test which one is doing better and why is that. But you don't know until you try it. So I hope that gives you some really good ideas for text, taking notes. I keep all my notes. I have probably hundreds of notes of stuff like this, and I just keep coming back to them when I'm running out of ideas. And so, you should have lots of data collected now, like your top countries of where your fans are located, plus the countries that convert on Facebook, which is Canada, US, UK, and Australia. You should have page likes that are very similar to yours and that are connected. Think outside the box. Think about the culture, the subculture of your microgenre. And then you're going to get those text ideas, their headline ideas, and your keyword ideas from Amazon and other, anywhere where you can see reviews. That's where you're going to pull some keywords out of. And then you're going to start creating sentences and headlines based out of those keywords. And make sure they make sense. Don't be misleading. Only use words that actually make sense and actually describe your music fairly. You don't want to say that it's one thing and then they go and listen to your music and it's not true at all. So be accurate and be truthful, and that's going to get you way ahead of the game, and you're going to be doing so much better than all the other artists out there that are struggling. Next, you're going to you have to select a call to action. So for this, you're going to pick download. You could do learn more, but sign up. None of these really apply, but download applies. And a download seems to get a lot of clicks. So definitely a good one to pick. Down here, see it's showing us, this is just kind of reviewing the tracking. You don't need to select anything. The only thing, it says verify because we just created a new one. But see, this is where you go. I can add the pixel to my website, and I would just grab the code here if I haven't verified it yet. And I come back here to Megaphone, and I'm going to my going to my thank you page where I have my fans. So this is like, okay, it worked. Your free songs are on the way. And I always tell them, please allow 30 minutes to get your email, just because sometimes, and Gmail sometimes takes longer or gets put in spam folders and stuff. So anyways, this is where you come and put that code. Just to review this, I went over this before, but if you're using Megaphone, you come here to custom code, and this is where you put it, and I already have one in there. So that's where you put it, and make sure you hit save, and you will hit preview. And I recommend taking this and taking the URL, open it in a different browser. So if you're in Chrome, you put it in Firefox and refresh it a few times. And then sometimes it takes a few minutes, but it should refresh, and it should show that it is verified here. And if not here, once you upload all your changes to Facebook, once you go back to your ads manager, it should show it here as active. So we have now done an entire ad. So if you want, it's a good idea to go back to the beginning and just review everything you did. So I'm going back to the campaign part of it, and I'm just selecting, make sure that I've got everything selected. It's on conversions, it's on auction, my name is correct. I'm going to the ad set, which is where our audience is selected. And we've got our pixels selected, which will show up as green and verified later. We've got our budget. I'm going to have it ongoing until I decide to click pause. I've got my audience selected. Everything's good. And I'll make sure that it's only going to the desktop news feed. And again, remember, we can do another one. And for that one, you would select mobile news feed and none of the other ones. Instagram is a brand new feature they've rolled out. You might not have that on your platform yet if you're just starting out. If you do, that's another thing we'll talk about another time, because it's kind of experimental and it really depends on your audience. But it's something you can play with if you're brave. And then we are going to double check our ad again, the creative part of it. And we're going to double check we've got the right page selected. We've got the right URL in there. Always go and double, triple check your URL. I have actually uploaded the wrong URL before and wondered why nothing was happening. And it turned out, there was I accidentally, was missing something, and then it wasn't working, and people were like, oh, this isn't working. So then, everything's looking good. I've got my text, I've got my headline. And for this, remember, we're just using photos, but we will talk about using video another time. That's a whole different animal, and it's a really exciting thing to use. And but there's a few things that we need to know what we're doing to really maximize our money's worth to do that. So, but it's a really fun thing to talk about. So we'll do that later. And then when you're all done and it all looks good to you, you're going to review changes. And normally there's a different looking button that goes upload to Facebook. So it looks a little bit different in my husband's account right now. So I would hit that button and go continue, and then it gets uploaded to Facebook. Then I can go back over to my ads manager. This is in the regular Facebook part. And I go manage ads, and then it would show right in this section where my new ad is, and it will tell me the results. Okay. So, and I just wanted to show you your cost per conversion or per result will be right here. So this was not for this one here. This was the last demo I was showing you guys. And this was for likes to my like page, which I was just running for fun on my husband's side, on my husband's account. And so this is actually really amazing. I was getting 10 cents a like. Now, if you're doing conversions, it'll tell you how many conversions, or this would tell you right here. So it might say, the number 10 or something, 10 conversions, and it will give you a dollar amount per conversion. It might say $1 or $3 or $6. And that was per conversion, per person who entered their email and landed on the thank you page and is now in your super fan funnel. That's what that means. Now, when you first upload that ad, this is going to be relatively high. It could be $10 or $15 at first. Don't freak out. Just give it 24 to 48 hours. Watch it, and it's going to start coming down. If you've done a really good job targeting your audience and your photo looks good and you've used the keywords like I showed you, your cost is going to start coming down rapidly within a day or two. And then give it a week. And if it's not coming down to like $2 or $3, then it's time to tweak things. It's time to change your text. It's time to change your photo maybe. And what I also want to encourage you, when it comes to this stuff, this can involve a lot of brainstorming. Please show us maybe what you're doing and your text and your copy and your photo. Show us in the Facebook group, because I think a lot of us could give you some helpful information. You should really tell us your genre, like your umbrella genre, and then your micro niche, and then show us the photo and the text that you're using, and maybe we can help brainstorm with you if you're stuck. So what I'd like to see you do is at least get your conversions around $1. If you can get it down to $1, then I have taught you very well. I have taught you well. But if it's still higher than that, that means you need to do a little more work. You need to do more research. You probably need a better photo, and you could probably use a little bit of help brainstorming your keywords. So if that's the case, please don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. We're in this group to help each other. I'll do my best to help you. And I also want you to be open to letting other people kind of jump in and help you as well, just because there's so many people, and I have 5 kids and a pretty busy family life. So I'm going to do my best to help you out, but that's what this group is for encouragement and to help each other brainstorm. So definitely take advantage of that. All right, guys. Well, we have come to the end of this section, and I'm most likely going to be doing another couple tutorials on social media specifically and content on your pages and a few other very important things. But for now, this should get you started. Remember, we want to use the old pixel for now. Just want to reiterate that just so you don't have any problems. And that should make your life easier. And I was really happy to share this step with you. I hope it comes in handy, and I can't wait to see your results. Please share your results with us, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.